third-year shooting guard Max Christie has yet to make a significant impact in the Lakers' rotation. Selected 35th overall in the 2022 NBA draft out of Michigan State, Christie briefly saw time in the Lakers' lineups during the first half of the 2022-23 season. The team, at that point, was fielding an imbalanced group of players, especially overloaded with undersized, defensively weak guards. Touted as a 3-and-D player coming out of college, Christie immediately stood out defensively compared to the other guards on the roster. However, after general manager Rob Pelinka made key trades to bring in more experienced veterans, Christie lost his spot in the rotation. Last season, on a more veteran-heavy team, Christie appeared in 67 games, starting 7, averaging 4.2 points on shooting splits of .427/.356/.783, 2.1 rebounds, and 0.9 steals per game. He was not part of coach Darvin Ham's playoff rotations, as the Lakers were eliminated in 5 games by the Denver Nuggets in the first round. So it was surprising this summer when Christie, a restricted free agent, was signed to a 4-year, $32 million contract by Los Angeles, a considerable investment in a player who hadn't shown much on the court. On ESPN's The Hoop Collective podcast, Brian Windhorst revealed that Lakers head coach J.J. Redick intends to make Christie a key part of the team's rotation. Their big signing was Max Christie, Windhorst said of the Lakers' offseason moves, notably skipping over the re-signing of LeBron James to a 2-year, $101.4 million deal. They signed him with the intent to play him a lot. So, they're going to play Austin Reeves, and they're going to play Christie. Last year's Lakers finished with a 47-35 record, but fell in the first round of the playoffs. In 2023, the team reached the Western Conference Finals. However, All-Stars LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both over 30 and prone to injury. The Lakers also added 2 promising rookies, former Tennessee shooting guard Dalton Knecht, who was seen as a lottery prospect but fell to the 17th pick, and Bronny James, LeBron's eldest son and a former USC point guard. While Knecht might contribute immediately, Bronny is expected to spend significant time developing with the Lakers' G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers. Can Christie, Knecht, or second-year players Jalen Hood-Schifino and Maxwell Lewis step up this season on a team that desperately needs reliable role players? The Lakers' 2025 postseason hopes may depend on it. Former Lakers star Brandon Ingram could be at the center of a major 3-team trade that could reshape several teams in the Western Conference. Ingram, who has played for the New Orleans Pelicans since being traded from the Los Angeles Lakers in 2019 as part of the Anthony Davis deal, is now the subject of trade rumors due to the Pelicans' hesitance to meet his contract demands. The proposed deal would send Ingram to the San Antonio Spurs, where he would team up with rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama. The trade would also involve the Cleveland Cavaliers and include a significant exchange of players and draft picks. If the trade goes through, it could address some of the Pelicans' roster issues while boosting the Spurs' playoff hopes for the upcoming season. Since joining the Pelicans, Ingram has been one of the team's top scorers and playmakers. His offensive versatility, smooth shooting, and ability to create for others have made him essential to New Orleans' game plan. Over 287 games with the Pelicans, Ingram has averaged 23.1 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.2 assists per game. His consistent production highlights his importance to the team, making the idea of trading him a significant gamble for New Orleans. Ingram's scoring ability, combined with his improving playmaking skills, makes him an attractive target for teams looking to add firepower. However, stalled contract negotiations have led the Pelicans to explore trade options, and sending him to the Spurs could potentially reshape their roster. For the Spurs, acquiring Brandon Ingram could be a game-changing move. He would join Victor Wembanyama, one of the most highly anticipated rookies in recent NBA history. Wembanyama's unique combination of size, skill, and athleticism has already made him a potential future superstar. Pairing him with a proven scorer and playmaker like Ingram would accelerate San Antonio's rebuilding efforts and position them as a serious playoff contender in the West. The Spurs have already made key roster moves, bringing in veterans such as Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes to add experience and depth. Adding Ingram to the mix would give the Spurs a dynamic frontcourt and significantly improve their chances of making a playoff run. The Cleveland Cavaliers are expected to play a key role in facilitating the 3-team deal, with rumors suggesting they would send assets to both the Spurs and Pelicans. The details of Cleveland's involvement are still emerging, but it is believed that Cavaliers center Jarrett Allen could be part of the trade package heading to New Orleans. Allen is known for his defensive presence and ability to score inside, making him a valuable piece for the Pelicans as they seek to strengthen their frontcourt. The trade proposal also includes a top 5 protected 2029 first-round pick, which could be a valuable future asset for any of the teams involved. While trading Ingram might help the Pelicans address certain roster needs, there are concerns about how they will replace his scoring and playmaking abilities. Ingram has been a consistent offensive force for New Orleans, and finding someone who can replicate his impact on the court will be difficult. Additionally, the potential addition of Jarrett Allen could create challenges in terms of spacing if paired with Zion Williamson, who also operates primarily in the paint. The Pelicans will need to carefully weigh the potential benefits of the trade against the immediate loss of one of their most important players. The Pelicans are under increasing pressure to make a decision regarding Ingram's contract and the possibility of his departure. With the NBA season fast approaching, trade talks are expected to intensify as teams finalize their rosters before training camp. If the Pelicans move forward with trading Ingram, they will need to find a way to fill the void left by his departure, especially on the offensive end. Meanwhile, the Spurs are positioning themselves to make a push for the playoffs with their recent acquisitions and the potential addition of Ingram. As the NBA season draws nearer, trade discussions will likely escalate, with this 3-team deal being one of the most significant talks in the league. If the trade goes through, the Spurs would gain a major asset in Ingram, significantly improving their playoff chances. The Pelicans, on the other hand, would face the challenge of reconfiguring their roster without one of their key players, while the Cavaliers would look to strengthen their own rotation through the trade. This potential trade could have major implications for the NBA, particularly in the Western Conference. The Spurs would become a serious playoff threat with Ingram on board, while the Pelicans would have to rethink their approach if they part ways with one of their stars. As the trade deadline approaches, the basketball world will be watching closely to see if this blockbuster deal comes to fruition and how it impacts the landscape of the NBA heading into the new season.